beautiful. This is my daily random talk for Thursday, 28th of November, the year 2024. The theme of today's daily random talk is to claim, allege, and justify that Canada, Australia, and New Zealand are illegally occupied by a foreign occupying power. Canada's native people are the First Nations, the Inuit, etc., who did not invite the white men from Europe, specifically from the United Kingdom, to come and colonize them. The white men used firepower and disease power and put the native people, who are the original landowners of Canada, into reserves similar to concentration camps of the Nazis, Nazi Germans, what they did to the people of the Jewish faith. But no one talks about that. And these British colonialists invited other immigrants having various immigration policies, while they themselves were illegal occupiers of the Canadian landmass. The United States was also in the same situation. However, the white men who were living in the 13 colonies fought for the independence against the United Kingdom and freed themselves from the colonial yoke and became independent republics, become independent nation of the United States of America. Australia, the original people of Australia are whom they call the Aborigines, who are also done the same thing. They were put into concentration camp-like reserves to live alone and neglected and humiliated. And the white settlers made it a white settler colony or something, whatever they wanted to call it. They had a white Australia policy, etc., who were also uninvited colonists, hence illegally occupying the land of Australia. And they invited other people, saying they have legal immigration programs and whatnot. Yes, these people came from maybe from India, Africa, etc., but it was still an unjust colonization, leading to further marginalization of the Aboriginal people of Australia. The same thing with New Zealand. The Maoris are the original inhabitants of New Zealand, and I believe they even had a kingdom, and they had a king and a monarchy of their own, running their own affairs. The United Kingdom's firearms defeated their bows and arrows and stones, and they were also occupied. And New Zealand also apparently had supposedly legal immigration policies set up by the illegal occupiers. So illegal occupiers can only give illegal orders to bring in illegal immigration into New Zealand. So Canada, Australia, and New Zealand are occupied lands with unjustified illegal immigration policies to bring in people from other lands to come and live there and make it their home. What, Canada? And these are still supposedly crown colonies or something like that. In Canada, there is a crown, there's a federal crown or federal, and then each of the 11 provinces and territories have their own crowns. The Governor General being the representative in the Wall of Canada in Ottawa, and then the lieutenant governors in each of the provinces representing the crown. The crown is thousands of miles away and not related to the original inhabitants of the land of Canada, the First Nations. Same thing in Australia, same thing in New Zealand. They were Governor General representing the Crown. So, for them to become true, just, independent nations, they need to convert their parliaments into a constituent assembly. Seek a republican constitution with the president at the helm, and then make it constitutionally mandatory that only a member of the original community can be president or head of state of Canada, Australia, or New Zealand. A Maori can only be a president in New Zealand. An Aborigine can only be a president in Australia, and a First Nation person can only be the head of state of Canada. And the First Nations need to be allocated a minimum of 20% seats in the Canadian Parliament, the Aborigines 20% seats in the Australian Parliament, and each of the various provincial or state parliaments, whether in Australia or in Canada or in New Zealand. They need to take affirmative action to give back the rights to the original inhabitants of the land and apologize for the illegal occupation of the land. They do not need to wait for the crown. They simply convert the parliaments into constituent assemblies and become republics. Can they do it before 31st of December 2024? Do they have any men or women or people with a conscience, true conscience? They need to do that pronto, fast. They need to free themselves from British or United Kingdom's colonial yoke, and the monarch to be the one appointing the governor generals and the lieutenant governors in the provinces and the states. Can we do that to stop the illegal occupation of another people's land? Thank you, and make it more democratic and just and equitable society. Thank you.